Weird science
is the revolution.
Hello, all you weirdos. Jim here, and we got breaking news up here. This is actually breaking news. Now, I like to fancy myself as a, respected news guy, kind of like a Kent Brockman or, say, a Gary Gnu. So I like to use certain terms and phrases that may end up confusing the regular person. But bear with me, because I believe that this story just came over the wire. You see, that's what news guys say to each other when we're hanging out in the bullpen. Actually, I'm sitting in my attic and I just got an email. And this is the official press release from Marvel. Now, before I go into that, if you did watch my X-Force video, and if you haven't, I will link it at the end, I talked about some things that I'd heard and heard that Kevin Scott and Christopher Cantwell will be writing some of these upcoming books. Well, after I got done as a respected news guy, I ended up finding out from my source, air quotes, that the Phoenix book would be written by Stephanie Phillips so that I would have receipts. I ran right to the X-Force video and pinned a comment of that. So you can go check that. You can check the receipts, as they say, as the kids say, down at the rec center. They're always telling me to check receipts. It's actually because I keep getting ripped off at the Walmart. That's why they do that. But here is the press release about the new Phoenix book. Worship and fear spread through the galaxy as Jean Grey takes to the stars as Phoenix. Set in the X-Men's upcoming From the Ashes era, Jean Grey headlines a new Phoenix ongoing series by Stephanie Phillips and Alessandro Miracolo this July. Now, that headline, I just want to talk about that for a second. I have said on that X-Force video, I'm not a big fan of the From the Ashes era. It doesn't flow. It has a bad mouthfeel. I said then that it reminded me of a David Bowie album. I should have thought more of that. It's more of like a Scorpions album, something like that, or Dokken. Dokken would be pretty cool for that. But in a headline that you have the Phoenix, and you are in or getting to the From the Ashes era, nothing but the Phoenix rises from the ashes. That's the only headline that will do. That's the only headline that you should have. It's that simple. Please, the Phoenix rises from the ashes. I think that'll probably be on the thumbnail. I believe so. But here is the press release, including some quotes here that Stephanie Phillips might want somebody to ask her to the dance when we get to that. Plus, I will get to the idea of me and Stephanie Phillips and our site and this whole weird science deal. We have a bit of a tricky relationship with Stephanie that I will discuss in just a bit, but here is the press release. As one of the most powerful heroes on Earth, Jean Grey's infinite potential sets her apart from even her fellow Omega-level mutants. This July, the From the Ashes era begins. It just doesn't flow, that the From the Ashes era begins. I don't get it. Maybe just call it, I don't know. I was going to say call it Ashes, but then if somebody says it different, it sounds really awful. But as the X-Men regroup across the globe, Xavier's first student will ascend to the cosmos to fulfill her divine destiny. Behold the adventures of the universe's newest savior in Phoenix, a new ongoing Jean Grey solo series from hotshot Marvel writer Stephanie Phillips, says Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider, and Black Widow, and Hawkeye. Current stuff. I really liked her Catwolf and the Howling Commandos. I know that's kind of a guilty pleasure type deal. It really wasn't, a mind bender or anything, but I did have fun with it. And dynamic rising star artist Alessandro Miracolo, White Widow. And if you read the White Widow book, my condolences to you first. I did as well, but it did look pretty good. The art was pretty good, so I am down with that. During the final moments of Krakoa, currently being told in Rise of the Powers of X and X-Men Forever, and what at points felt like 80 other books, Jean Grey finds herself at the epicenter of creation and rebirth, known as the White Hot Room. The White Hot Room it is. Oh my God. Better wear shades there. What shocking metamorphosis occurs that leads to her adopting a new costume? I would say that's more about, hey, let's sell some covers, but that's just me, and taking to the stars as Phoenix. And with her deadly reputation preceding her, will the galaxy kneel or cower before her greatness? That seems to be the first almost dig at DC. The kneel before, the Zod thing, but it's Phoenix here. there'll be a mention. I don't think it's on purpose, but there's a mention by Stephanie Phillips that might have been shots fired in a minute. We'll see. Here's where we continue with a lot of like pronouncing these. She is Jean Grey. She's the Phoenix. She saves the world. She brings death. So far, this is either the Phoenix or possibly my wife. One woman alone in space who not only must do what no one else can, she yearns to. That's a really bad sentence. These things, it's not even the idea of spell check or whatever. Whoever writes these either is too fancy for my brain, or it's just like they just think of things at the last second. Throw a colon in there and then put more. And then it keeps going. A desperate SOS from Nova brings the Phoenix to the edge of a black hole where hundreds of lives hang in the balance. I wouldn't be hanging near a black hole. And whatever Jean does or fails to do will bring darkness to the universe, plus that black hole, and haunt her in ways she can scarcely imagine. That's that ... There you go. That's a weird deal. And here are the quotes. Now, I will tell you the bit of tricky relationship that I have with Stephanie Phillips, mainly our site. And if you do follow us, sus Gabe, because Gabe was reviewing Stephanie Phillips' Harley Quinn book. And he ended up having a review that might have said that this one issue felt mailed in. Stephanie Phillips took huge umbrage to that and ended up going on Twitter. Didn't call us out by name, but pretty much did everything else but. And said that Gabe should face repercussions, that he should be fired, from an unpaid job. It's always great to be fired from something you're not getting paid for. And that we were the most ridiculous thing ever, and we sucked, and then started lying about us blocking her, which she blocked us. All these things going on. So I don't bring it up too often in this. It's kind of water under the bridge. It was a little bit ago. But I do want to point out that even with that, I still give everything Stephanie Phillips does a try. I haven't liked everything. I haven't really loved anything. I already told you that I did like the Capwolf book, but I think that she's an okay writer. I think that she's good. She has some cool ideas at points, but I think that one of the problems that I've had with her writing, I think she is better on miniseries. I think that as things continue, she kind of changes things up in weird ways and kind of gets bored, I think. But that's just me. I don't want to say like Gabe that she's mailing anything in or she'll attack us again. But yeah, I just want to point out that while I'm talking about this, I am pretty positive about Stephanie Phillips, even though she treated us like complete and utter shit, is what I'm saying, right? Well, here you go. Here's her quote. And I think that maybe somebody needs to get a hold of her and ask her to the prom. Jean is one of the most powerful characters I've ever written, Phillips explained. Now, when you think of that, when you say one of the most, really what you're doing is saying nothing. Because if anybody, you wrote Wonder Woman. Oh, I said one of them. I like, Harley Quinn. Well, Phoenix is more powerful than Harley Quinn, possibly, right? I would say. But, oh my God, Spider-Gwen. You can get out of it every bit. That's why I hate these quotes and these. Usually they're just so generic. But one of the other things that it tickles my fancy is that these people, they end up getting a theme for their quote. And for some reason, the theme starts hitting here and it just hits hard. The beauty and challenge to Jean is that she is imbued with a cosmic force alongside the morals, shortcomings, and empathy of a human being. The dichotomy between these two is something incredibly special about Jean and means that she is constantly doing a dance between humanity and absolute power. Shots fired at DC summer event. Probably not, but dance. This is now she heard herself say doing a dance and she will not be able to get away from it. She continues with, so that dance is what we hope to have on full display in the story. A cosmic ballet that shows how beautiful the Phoenix Force can be when working in tandem with Jean Grey. And let me assure you, Alessandro Miracolo has made that cosmic dance look absolutely gorgeous. Please, somebody ask her to the junior prom, at least. Maybe the big show, but let's start small. Junior prom, maybe I will. I don't think she'll go with me. I think my wife would kill me if I did that as well. So, hey, win-win. We continue with the quote from Alessandro Miracolo. She doesn't go with the dance. And speaking of which, it kind of upsets me because I'm not a good dancer. So anytime that comes up, I'm like, can we put break before the dance? Because I did dabble in break dancing. kind of like I dabbled in skateboarding. Both led to horrific injuries for me because I'm a klutz. This is fantastic. Being an X-Men fan since I was a kid, which everybody who does X-Men say, I'm so happy to work on such an important character like Phoenix, and that is true. And Stephanie's writing has been incredible. Miracolo shit. Wait, you didn't say, like, the dance. Why aren't we saying the dance here? She didn't get the memo that the theme here was dancing. Oh, my. Depicting Phoenix out in the cosmos and unleashing her energy has been thrilling and simply epic. And there's also really emotional moments that I hope to make the most of. I wish I could say more, but I hope everyone is excited because this will be fun. Just like a dance. That's what she should say. This reminds me of back in the day when we'd hang out at Studio 54 and then head to the disco. That's what she should say at the end, but she doesn't. I was upset that she didn't go with the theme. But there is the news. And I actually, of all the books announced so far, I'm actually looking forward to this one as much as, say, the Jed McKay and the Gail Simone books. So I actually, like I said, tricky relationship with Stephanie Phillips, but I will give this a chance and kind of have a bit of a, little excitement about it, see what's going on. I'm sure that people will have some comments about the Phoenix and if you want this or whatnot, but hey, let me know. Let me know in the comments below. As I said, I'm going to link to the X-Force video as well. And there is still that, would you pronounce it Nyx? N-Y-X, the Nyx thing? I'm sitting there, my team, and people like that. The Phoenix book, it's a solo series. So there's nobody thinking, oh, what's the team on a Phoenix book? If you are, you got problems. But so when I'm thinking of a team, the Nyx team, I'd probably go a mix of new and old. And what I mean is I go Walt Frazier, Patrick Ewing, Willis Reed, Carmelo Anthony, and probably Charles Oakley. Charles Oakley, power forward, but that's the problem. I think I'm missing a guard. We'll go John Stark. So that's my Knicks team. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Yes, but that's that. Hey, everybody, please let me know what you think of all of this. If you're excited about all the From the Ashes, or if you think that the title should have been The Phoenix Rises from the Ashes, because there is no other title. But let me know in the comments below, and we'll discuss this further as this goes on. And there is that Knicks deal, so we'll see what that's going on. I have a feeling Patrick Ewing will not be on the team. He didn't win a ring. So that's the problem with Patrick, though I love him. Love you, Patrick. But that's it. Thanks, everybody. And I'll talk to you all later.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.